And we are live. We are live from the studio located in the heart of Bye Bye City Leyte in the Philippines. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the world. This is Dan at Dan and Minnie's Journey. I know, is somebody in here going to say something about the stupid hat? Today we're going to do stupid hat tricks. No, we're not. No, we're not. Hey, the Jollibee wants to say hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. How are you? How are you today? Let's go to Jollibee. Let's eat Jollibee today. Chicken Joy. Let's get a bucket of Chicken Joy. Okay, that's enough. That's enough shameless promotion. Jollibee. Hey, by the way, I wanted to share today's topic is how Dan's been doing in retirement, especially since moving here to the Philippines. But before we get started with that, we're going to do something else, right? I went looking for something the other day in the store, and this is proof that things are changing really, really quickly here in the Philippines. Before I get started with that, let me bring up the chat. Oh, hey, by the way, is Larry here in the stream? I wanted to let him know that I ran into somebody in one of my usual live streams from LA. I ran into the incredible Mr. Lippett. I'm not sure if you remember the incredible Mr. Lippett from Chris and Cebu or not. But when he showed up there, right, he said, so I was watching a live stream that's from California. It was a live stream showing cops, right? And they're chasing bad guys, basically. It's a live streaming type of deal, right? In real time. And so you're watching it live. This is the future of YouTube. It's reality TV. And then all of a sudden I'm looking at the chat and I see the incredible Mr. Lippett appears. And I was like, whoa, by the time I get to my phone to try and message him, and say, hey, I'm in here too. Because he says, hello from the Philippines. I'm like, you're not the only expat living here in the Philippines, bruh. But then, I was too late and things moved on. Such is life. So anyway, oh yeah, you do remember him, yeah. So he was also one of my favorites. The incredible. I used to refer to him as the incredible Mr. Lippett. But anyway, he was in one of the live stream chats. I can't remember which one it was. It's the first time. Every once in a while, I will run into somebody in there from Sacramento, from that area of California, and then I saw Mr. Lippett in there. I don't think I was watching the Sacramento live stream though. I think I was watching the Los Angeles live stream, if I'm not mistaken. So sometimes you can go in there, like last night, you'll have only a couple to choose from, and then on some nights, like a Friday or Saturday night, you can go in there and everybody is live streaming because it's Friday or Saturday night. They want to see somebody's head get knocked off their shoulder, right? They want to see the cops blow something up or take somebody down like they did in Houston, Texas live a few moments ago. Within the last hour, they went in there and destroyed a semi tractor by Houston. Listen, don't mess around with the Houston police. That's all I got to say. That dude that runs the Houston Police Department, if I'm not mistaken, he's a former deputy chief, I think, for the California Highway Patrol. You don't want to screw with them either. They went in there and they took the robots. They took all the heavy armory. They flew in a helicopter, and you see the SWAT team, just like in the movie SWAT, climbing out of that helicopter in full gear, ready to go. And they dragged it. They did everything they could in order to get that dude to come out of that semi truck. I don't know if the truck was stolen or if he had a medical seizure event or what was happening, but they were chasing him down the freeway for the better part of an hour and a half. And when they finally got him stopped with spike strips, he wouldn't surrender. So they sent a whole bunch of robots in there and they completely destroyed the semi. If you guys want to catch how crazy things are, especially with the police in the United States, I'm telling you that it might be a glimpse into your future here in the Philippines. Go out there and see all that heavy military artillery they brought in order to get that dude to vacate that tractor, and so they could arrest him. But when they finally got him out of there after sending in rubber bullets, tear gas, a couple of devices I've never seen or heard of before, shocked him, electric shock treatment, sent in the dog. When they finally pulled him out of there, he was a bloody mess, and they showed that live right there on the streaming channel. Live streaming, or I think it's called, what's it called? What do they call themselves? Streakers is a whole different thing, where you streak across the stage naked, or the football field naked. No, I'm not thinking streakers. Stringerslive.com. If you go to that website, you can go in there and see who's doing live streams, who's doing the news. You could follow them when they're live. It can get really exciting. I mean, I've seen 4 and 5, 8-car pileups the other night. I've seen all kinds. It's like GTA. It's like Grand Theft Auto in real life. This is, if you want a glimpse into what's really going on in the United States, just pick one of those live streamers to follow around, and you're going to get it live, and you're going to think to yourself, "Oh, hell no. Those people are crazy. Those friggin' people are nuts." Absolutely. So I was surprised anyway. It was both fun to see Mr. Lippett is still alive and well, and things like that. The police either say, "Sorry, nothing we can do," or they're shooting you for not giving them your identification. That's the kind of crap that I'm talking about. It's insanity. I don't know how they're training those idiots, but Houston, you don't want to go to Houston. No. You don't want to mess with them. They had robotics, they had drones, they had everything. They had machines out there that I have never seen before in my entire life. And I hope that I never have to witness anything like that again. Not really, because I like the blood and the gore. They had a robot that was just tearing the door right up the side of that big rig. I was friggin' amazed, I really was. It was scary to watch, but also it activated the endorphins in my brain, so I must love violence. I'm so sorry for slurping. But I mean, it's loosely related to the reason why I never, ever want to move back to the United States ever again to live permanently. Never, ever, ever, ever. Not in this lifetime, and not certainly in the next. Who else is here? Oh, Nitban. Hello, how are you, Nitban? We're going to draw today for 300 pesos. I know that's why you guys watch the channel. But we need at least 30 people in here, and we only have 16. What am I going to do? All right, so now you're going to have to send an email. You're going to have to PM all your friends and get them here, because we're going to draw for 300. And probably it's going to be a short live stream. I always say that, right? I say that every time. That's to keep you hanging around thinking, we could put up with Dan for 15 minutes, and he's going to draw, and then one of our friends or I will win. Look at this, though. I went shopping. We went into Metro. I'm going to show you how things have changed since Ma'am Minnie and I have moved here. Why am I talking about, why am I talking about retirement and how it's going? It's because we're coming up on my 2-year anniversaries within a month or two. We're coming into 2024. The changes that I've seen here in the Philippines. I mean, when you're a frog in a boiling pot of water, you don't notice that things are heating up a little bit. I don't know if that's the right thing to say. I really don't. But if you're living here, if you're living here in the Philippines, the changes are happening. Maybe you realize how fast things are changing, right? But go in. I encourage you that not right now, after my live stream. Okay, cut me a break. Go into Vagabond Awake and then look for that video that he posted that talks about the reasons why he will never live in the United States again. And that those would be the reasons why I will never live in the USA permanently again. Except, never say never. Never say never. As Bud Brown found out, never say never. And make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Don't just Stop paying the Part A, the Part B of the Medicare, or you'll end up getting screwed. What is that? What kind of bill do you think he's going to be facing for his wife? You think it'll be a 20K bill? I don't even know. I don't know what he's responsible. He won't. He hasn't talked about it yet. All he talked about is, "Oops, uh, want to let you guys know that I thought I would be living in the Philippines forever, so I canceled my Part B." And remember, I've always advocated right here on this very channel, never do that. Never do that. Because the moment you do that, the moment something's going to go crazy, the world's going to go upside down on you, and you're going to have to face the music, which is you're going to have to pay the money. Insurance is insurance. Sometimes you use it, sometimes you don't. I'm overprotected, people tell me. You got too much insurance. Cancel this, cancel that. Anytime anybody advises me to do that, we are no longer friends. Hmm. I realize a lot of people can't afford it. Well, all I'm saying is get as much as you could afford to get. That's what I'm saying here. I don't want to be misunderstood, but we were in the market. This is one of the changes, right? So a year and a half or 2 years ago when we landed here, right? So I went looking for cinnamon sticks. I know people probably people that live locally here in the Philippines, they probably know exactly where to go to get cinnamon sticks. But do you know where to get McCormick? Cinnamon sticks. See, that's the real test right here, right? McCormick cinnamon sticks. So I may have shared this story with you because this happened a couple of days ago, but I do apologize if I've already talked about this. But so we were in the store and I'm looking around because, I'm going to put the magic potion together because I haven't been feeling great I'm like tired all the time, running out of energy. I've got a little sore throat. I feel like I have a respiratory infection or something. I've had a respiratory infection before that I thought we had destroyed with antibiotics, but I don't know. Maybe it's just sinus infection. I really don't know. I'm going to have to check it out. But here's the thing. I was in the Metro Mart and we were walking through there and I was looking for cinnamon stick because we're going to be doing the magic potion, the magic wellness potion, right? And so if you don't know what that is, there are all kinds of examples on it. Hell, I don't even know if it works, but the stuff they recommend you put in the juice, right? The stuff they recommend, it can't hurt you. It's just everyday stuff. You just take a little cayenne pepper, a little garlic, a little onion, a little this and that in there. It's just a magic potion drink, right? And then you put some of this in there. A few other things. You let it sit there for. You got to heat it up. You got to get it started, and then you. Yeah, thank you. Like that, Listen, that's because we're going to be talking about that in a minute, Knit Band. But I'm laughing about it because it cracks me up. It's funny. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, anyway. I want all the things in the magic potion. You got onions, you got ginger, you got all these things. When I first moved here, you couldn't find cinnamon sticks, let alone McCormick, right? It was like going around trying to hunt down Hershey's Kisses. They hadn't invented them yet here in the Philippines, but now they got everything. And this is the thing. This is the big change in my retirement journey, and that is that. Yeah, I mean, for crying out loud, I got something biting me back here. I think it's a mosquito. Anyway, or I got bitten in the middle of the night. One or the other. I'm needing to scratch it back there. So here's the whole thing. They have everything you need here now, and it's happened. It's happened so fast. Before you could come in here, you couldn't find anything. Right now, they got everything. Now they got too much of everything on the shelf and not enough people to buy it because I bought, believe it or not, wait for it, Tostitos. Tostitos. I bought a bag of Tostitos. I was like, look at that, man. I mean, some of you saw a video where I was showing snacks, right? in one of the video, I believe I put snacks where I was trying to demonstrate, that they have everything you need. They're Lay's potato chips, Ruffles with ridges. They got Hershey's Kisses. They got Colgate toothpaste. They even got the whitener. They got whitener stuff all over the place. So uh, I looked up on the high shelf, and there was a bag of Tostitos, and I was like, those are real authentic corn chips made out of real authentic corn tortillas from California. I have missed that flavor so much. So I had to lift Mam Minnie up there to the top shelf. I lifted her up there. It made her a little nervous. I lifted her up there, and she grabbed that bag, and I pulled her back down. And I said, "Man, I am going to be enjoying my life tonight. All I need now is a little bit of avocado dip, which there's no shortage of avocados here in the Philippines, in case you don't know, or don't you know, I should say. Put a little pepper, you put a little this, that, sour cream, whatever you want in there, and you mix it all up, right? And boom, you've got avocado dip to go with those Tostitos, except for one thing, right? Good morning, Crystals, except for one thing. Things don't always turn out the way you think they're going to turn out, right? Am I right? Am I right? And so I open that bag, right? And I take the first bite. And the anticipation of not biting into a nice, crispy, Tostito chip I was looking so forward to it. And I go like, no crunch, right? There wasn't any crunch. I go, what the hell? I trying to get a crunch out of it. So I made several attempts and finally just tore a bite off, and then realized that they were stale. They had been sitting up on the shelf for the better part of 6 or 8 months. Nobody is buying them. But yet I looked up there on the shelf, and they had cases full of Tostitos. Should I go back there and tell them you're going to have to dump all that crap out because it's past its expiration date? I even checked it on the bag. So, anywho, I mean, you have to deal with little things like that. It was a little bit irritating because I was looking so forward to taking, a bite of the Tostitos. And of course, right after that happens, I don't say anything right to Mam Minnie. I just don't. I'm holding the bag open and I'm going like, you want some, hun? Oh, yeah, I do. Of course I do. I miss these things. She reaches in there and grabs a handful, starts to munch on them. She goes, well, Mam Minnie, she's kind of like, well, they're a little bit stale, but they're okay. She will do her best. She will do her best not to not to make it. She's just so positive all the time. That's what people love about her, and so she's not she's not going to say, oh, these things are suck. They suck. They sold you an expired bag. Yeah, let's go back to the store and see if they'll refund my money. Not one thing that hasn't changed in the Philippines are refunds. There ain't no such thing as a refund. So anyway, that's what happened. That's what's happening. And then, of course, the things I've been talking about. Yeah, they'd been sitting there for years. They'd probably been Tostitos. Oh my gosh. How am I going to get a corn tortilla here in the Philippines that tastes right, where they know how to make it? That flour tortillas, they have it down. It's just like back home. Just like in LA, I want to say, you get the corn tortillas, though, and they are disgusting. Listen, you can't freeze Tostitos, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to, I don't know. You invest all this money. I know this reminds me of the whole when people went to the store and they wanted to buy toilet paper, right? And you go into the Metro. For some reason, they wanted to stockpile toilet paper in the West, right? So what do they do? S&R Here in the Philippines, they go and they stock up on toilet paper and they stack it all the way to the rafters. I mean, there were cases and cases and cases of toilet paper. And the Filipinos, right? The rich Filipinos that were coming in and shopping at SNR, they were looking around going, I don't get it. Ah, it's a Western thing, it's a Western thing. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. It took months. I mean, months, if not the better part. If you go into some S&R store, you're going to see the same toilet paper stacked to the rafters that's been there since 2020. What is wrong with you in the West? The first thing you think about when they lock you down is how you're going to wipe your ass. Are you serious? Are you serious? God gave you two hands. You can't figure out how to wipe your ass? That's hilarious to me. Oh, Mama Gina's here. Mama Gina Vlogs. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much. Well, Nitban, they thought they thought that the Westerners were going to be the stupid ones, I guess, and we were going to go in there and we were going to buy up all the cases of toilet paper. You take all that stuff up to the checkout counter, and the cashier's just staring at you. They're trying to hold back their laughter. They're like this. And then you leave. You walk out the door, and they're like, sucker. What idiot is going to buy this stuff? We don't even know what to use it for. They still got it stacked up there to the rafters. Oh, but anyway, they got McCormick's. They got McCormick's, and the rumors of a new McDonald's going into the plaza. Why wouldn't you put a new McDonald's into the plaza, right? I mean, that's where all the kids hang out, right? That's where all the church going kids hang out. I hope they put a drive-through in there. They could ride their two-wheeler in there. They don't even have to get off their two-wheeler. Just drive right through the drive-through. It's amazing. But the thing is, that is what's happening here in the Philippines. It's not happening so much anywhere else. I mean, you'd think that you go to Thailand and see them opening up a McDonald's on every street corner. No, but the Philippines, yes, but not McDonald's in Thailand. They don't allow that insanity to go in there. Because they know that the Philippines has an incredible European and Western influence, and Thailand not so much. The British didn't occupy them. They weren't occupied by the colonists. It wouldn't have worked out. They want to preserve their culture. Speaking of coffee, the best coffee in the world is actually in Thailand. No, it's not in Starbucks. But go and watch that coffee lady. She's live streaming now. And she from 7 to 10 in Bangkok. She's at 21st and Sukhumvit, the coffee lady. And you'll see her hand mixing coffee, some of the best coffee in town. Now, I've encouraged some of my friends. I've said, can you at least get up early one morning? Yeah, I know you're retired. You could do whatever the hell you want, but do it for me for laughs. Just go down, stand in line, and wait for your turn. I want to see you on live YouTube getting a cup of coffee. And they just look at me like, huh? Damn. There's something wrong with you. I'm not getting up at 7 in the morning to go down just so you could see me on YouTube on that woman's. And then a few moments later, maybe I'll do it. It'll be fun. Yeah, that's right there by Terminal 21. She was probably displaced when they kicked all the independents off the street when they built Terminal 21. I don't even know if you guys know that story or not. It shows you that capitalism is alive and well in Thailand, but not so much in the United States, right? I mean, think about it. How many mom and pop restaurants do you see in the United States these days? How many people do you see standing on a street corner making handmade tortillas, giving you handmade corn tortillas and making it into a taco for you? How many people in the United States do you see doing that? But yet here, You'll see shawarma all over the place. You'll see lechon baboy. Let me put a plate together for you, sir. Would you like to buy 2 or 3 kilos of lechon baboy today? I mean, you have independent vendors everywhere, but here's what happens in the States. This is one of the things that I don't miss. This is one of the reasons why I think I can't move back there. And that's because capitalism is dead in the United States. They keep consolidating, consolidating. Consolidation is control of your life. That's what's going on in the West. And why I talk about it so much on this channel is because it's coming to the Philippines near you. And you have to be aware of it. They're trying to do whatever they can to get their nails into your back and take every last peso that you have and extract it from you. They're trying to figure it out. They've tried it in housing. They're successful. They're being successful in fast food. I guess one reason why is because Filipinos are hardworking people, and the same marketing scheme plays out in the Philippines as it does in the USA, as it did during the 1950s. Oh, you've worked hard all day. Why do you have to cook after a hard day at the office, right? You see, Leave It to Beaver's dad, I still don't know what he did for a living, coming home with his briefcase and setting it on the kitchen table or whatever it was, right? And his wife, hello, dear, coming out like she hasn't done a lick of work all day. Dinner's ready on the table for you, hon. I mean, the whole thing, you know, evolved into frozen foods and then fast foods. Why cook tonight when you can call Chicken Delight? Why aren't there any Chicken Delight franchises here in the Philippines? But they're all over Canada, from what I understand. Nothing ever survives in the United States for very long. Even Jeff Bezos said it. What's a good idea worth? He said 30 years. 30 years and you're out of business. He says, look at Monkey Wards. Look at I meant to say Montgomery Wards. I don't know where that came from. Look at Sears. Look at Toys R Us. Look at J.C. Penney. They're falling apart. They're barely able to hang on, right? So anyway, put the Tostito chip in a tray and put them in the oven for a few minutes and make them crunchy again. That's a good idea, but I want a discount. I want my senior discount at least, right, for buying the stale Tostitos. I want to be able to, but you see, I do ask for the discount. When I run into things like that, I will take advantage of it because I'm that kind of guy, right, Tim? So I'll grab a bag and I'll say expired. And they got nothing. If you're talking to a floor clerk, the person stocking, which they have a whole bunch of people stocking all the time, right? They're stocking like 24/7. If you run into one of them and you say expired, they don't know what to do. Might I suggest? I'll make it in the form of a suggestion because I don't want to cause a stir, but I have fun with it, right? Because I'll say to them, I'm a little embarrassed to have to tell you this. I really am. I don't know what else to do. But if you go over here and you look, I said, look at this bag of Tostitos. It has it's 6 months past its expiration date, and they'll be looking for an escape. They'll be looking for some place to escape because they don't want to have to deal with this. They avoid confrontation at all costs. God bless their hearts. They avoid it. They don't want to have to deal with it. What are they going to do? What are they going to say? Because if you take this problem to a manager, the manager's just going to look like they're going to look at you and they might say something like, I knew we shouldn't have hired you. You're a troublemaker. They want me to look at me. They're going to address the clerk. They're going to address the person doing the stock and the person I approach, and they're going to say, we made a big mistake hiring you. If you want to continue with your employment with our fine organization, you better figure out a way to handle this. I have seen this happen before, just like that. Thank you so much. 28 million people, if I'm reading it correctly, in the house. And the Jollibee. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I really do. Come to Jollibee. Get Chicken Joy. We have lots of Chicken Joy. It'll put a smile on your face. So I'm just warning you, but retirement has been an easy transition from the States to the Philippines. At first, of course, you're like, oh, you're taking this deep breath. You hear the, I tried to take a deep breath of fresh air. Do you hear it? Well, anyway, it was like a breath of fresh air, right? And so because you're, no. Someone in here, do not be tempted to make a joke about the jeepneys in Manila. Do not. Yeah, it won't be appreciated amongst my subscribers. Hmm. But anyway, one thing they don't exploit here in the Philippines is the cost of this nature spring water. Nobody is raping you on the price of the water here, but it happens that way in the States. And plus, they don't just have water, right? They've got 100 different kinds of water on the shelf. They got your vitamin infused water. They got your natural spring water. They got your toilet water. They got they got, you name the kind. They got flavored water. They got waters with bubbles, waters without bubbles. You name it, they got the water. And guess what? It's going to cost you money. Yeah, especially if you choose the water with bubbles, it's going to cost you 3 or 4 times what this bottle of water costs. At least they don't exploit the cost of water here in the Philippines because they know that people need it, that they rely upon this fresh water in order to survive. So it's still reasonably priced. Everything else, the price of food and services is going through the roof. I wish I could give you some personal examples. I'm not allowed to talk about what I'm going through right now. But I could tell you the service industry, especially when you need legal services, is getting very, very expensive. The price of all that stuff is going up because, you're starting to see more of a separation. The reason why it's happening is because, quite frankly, you have an emerging middle class. And when you have an emerging middle class in the Philippines, some people are going to charge more money for those services. The getting is good, right? LV, 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 LV. You're number one, not number two. Don't ever change. Oh, Madeline is here. Madeline, good to see you. Mangay is here. Good morning, Mangay. How are you this morning? Happy Thursday. No one. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, every time I go, nature, yeah. Every time I go on Nippan's Facebook page, I'm doing a hike. I'm in the Himalayas. I'm climbing Mount Fuji. Yeah, I got something for you right here, Nippan, nature lover. By her wrong, De Barbero is here. Barbero is here. Oh, oh my goodness gracious. Thanks so much for putting up with me and giving of your time. 28 million people in the house. Larry's still here. I'm surprised Larry isn't running screaming from the room. Jean-Gilles, Jean-God, I love to say that name. Oh, yeah, bum gun. Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Mammy tried to give me a roll of toilet paper the other day, and I just grabbed it and just tossed it across the room. You know what to do with that toilet paper. Part of being Filipino is not using that stuff. Not for what we use it for in the West, right? They use it for wiping their hands after a meal. Like that. In fact, I think that's what I use it for. So I happen to have this roll, right, with this much on it, has been sitting here right next to me for, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months. Every now and again, I grab a sheet off of it. I think it's dual ply. Let's find out. Let's find out how many plies are in here. It's hard to separate it. It's a good quality, I will say that, but it is two ply. Okay, so it's not the real thin crap they give you when you and I grab and I will grab some and I'll right. But this is not. This will never find its way to the other place. Never. As long as I live, it will. As long as I live, I will never be using another sheet of this for doing the other thing. No, I won't do it. Nope. But blowing your nose, boogers. Yeah, that's what you use toilet paper for. Right now, people have been trying to in new fancy houses in your neighborhood. Nip ban. They try and put in bidets. They try and put in the bum guns. But that's only in neighborhoods like where you live, though. Nip ban. See. So anyway, let me. I got off the. Let's wipe it all away and let's talk about. Yeah. So people telling me to do when as a retired person annoys the hell out of me, right? And I think this is that syndrome they talk about. Get off my lawn, stupid kid. Get off my lawn before I come out there. You go out there and you blast them with shotgun pellets. I kind of feel no. I'm not advocating violence against any children. No, I definitely am not. Please, YouTube, I just got off academic probation. Please don't put me back on or ban me. You know, I do the disclaimer now, and nothing I say matters. I put it in the disclaimer. I'm abiding by the rules. Please don't put me back on academic probation. So anyway, let's see. Thailand has Amazon half the price and way better. Yes, Amazon coffee. That's right, exactly right. And so you can find me in an Amazon anytime I'm in Thailand. I head straight for the Amazon coffee shop, twice the flavor at half the price. The coffee lady sells her appearance, not her coffee. Well, okay, you gotta make a living, right, Nitban? But that's the point. The whole point I'm trying to make here is that capitalism is alive and well in Thailand. And it's alive and well right now at this moment in the Philippines. Will it last is the question. She has the opportunity to market her product. That's her choice. But will you see somebody doing something like that in the States? Every now and again, you will see a food truck, $150,000 food truck that somebody had to spend in order to build it so they can get the proper permits, the health department permit, the city license, the tax state board of equalization permit, the federal tax permit, and all the other numbers that they need in order to operate a business. By the time they get done, they have about $200,000 invested in their business. Do you think that coffee lady in Thailand has 200K invested in her business, Nitban? Take that. It's the opportunity, see, that I'm talking about. It's the opportunity the opportunity. How can I become a capitalistic pig without being a capitalist when there's no opportunity? I want to be a capitalistic pig. Can I become one? Oink, oink. No, because I can't afford to. If I had $200,000 to start a business, I wouldn't be starting a business. You get it? I would be putting in the money in the bank at 5.25% interest. I would not be out there doing something stupid like trying to scale a coffee shop or something like that. I mean, but let's play through. Oh no, that's the other lady. That's the other one. She's very modest. Coffee lady is very modest. I know the one you're talking about. Of course, when I was in Bangkok, and by the way, they don't call it Bangkok for nothing. I can't believe I just said that. I probably am going to be banned. But anyway, I've done it now. See, you can't do that to me. Mike, you did that deliberately, right? You and I are going to have a talk offline later. But anyway, I had I had my camera, right. I had it right there, I had it focused right there where everybody else puts it. And then they say then she goes, "Well, you can't take a picture for free. You're going to have to buy something from me." I don't allow you just to, stroll in here and gawk at me and then take a photograph, and take video so you can get views on YouTube. She goes, "You got to buy something." Yes, man, I will. What do you got? What would you like to sell me? 35 million people in the house. Yes, we're going to draw. We're going to draw soon. So that's the whole point. So go into Vagabond Awake, where he talks about how he will never move back to the United States again, is an important video to watch. And the reason why it is because all those reasons that he states in there are my reasons. But he gets a couple things that make me a little uncomfortable, right? He gets some things where he talks about the proliferation of fast food around the world in certain countries, and how he enjoys being able to go to places like Thailand, I think he was implying, and eat such a variety of food. And then he explains capitalism without using the word, right? So this is why I like his channel, is because he explains things without actually hammering on everybody and pulverizing them into the ground like I do, with words like macro and microeconomics and capitalism and uh, communism, socialism, and all those other terms, right? And so, I mean, the United States at one time, let's be fair, was the land of opportunity, and maybe perhaps opportunities still do exist there, but the opportunities are greater. You have greater opportunities for business success in other nations, one of them being Thailand, another one being the Philippines. But I talk about this stuff as a warning to my friends in the Philippines, and that is that my neighbors, and that is that uh, you have to keep in mind that every time you go into McDonald's, every time you go in there to Burger King and the like, and KFC, you are taking a, a peso out of somebody's wallet. You're taking that money and giving it to the multinational corporation, which is okay, because I mean we like their burgers and fries, right? Who here does not like the burgers and fries? But it's better to give the money to the independent, hardworking capitalists on the street. Is what I'm trying to get at, as opposed to when you can, which should be most of the time. Who among us can actually afford to go into McDonald's on a daily basis anyway? But I've been gaining a lot of weight lately because of it, and I got to knock it off. Cha Ram is here. Cha Ram, we're gonna draw. We're gonna draw. Don't go anywhere. You never know. Journals is here. Crystals and knit band. She flaunts them, and she they're probably bolt-ons though, knit band. I mean, let's be fair. You can get any kind of plastic surgery. You can get vaginal rejuvenation if you want it in Bangkok. They got it there. I could get lifted. This eye that I have trouble with, the weak eye, because of the surgery, they could actually correct that with just a stitch here, a stitch there. I might do it. Why not? Why not? People can't tell me what to do. People should not be telling me what to do. I'm retired. I'm retired. I get to do whatever the hell I want. I could spend it on a lift. I could spend it on, improving. No, I probably cannot buy a personality with it, but I could do a lot of, I, I could do a lot of different things, that would be beneficial to me. I'm sure, and for which you would appreciate. I could probably get new hair put in if I want to, a hair job. So it's becoming more and more like the United States. That's why it was such an easy transition for a guy like me to make, to move from the United States to the Philippines. And plus, when I got here, my eyes opened up as to how much more freedom you have here than we got in the States for all these rules and regulations. I mean, at least here, you know where to go in order to get something done. Over there, it's a nightmare. You think that going here and spending a few hours in line and then going up to somebody and ask them how to do something, they just look at you like a bird going, uh, ah, can you go have a seat for another couple of hours? And that's nothing compared to what's going on in the United States. I'm telling you, it's nothing comparatively. It's worse in the States. See, but here's the shortcoming in the Philippines. I'm going to share it with you, right? I hope I don't get in trouble. I don't want to be deported from the country. I really don't. So I'm doing this with love and kindness and as a recommendation, right? Let's see. Everybody called it monkey wars. Oh yeah, that's right, they did. Uh, and that is that. See, the Philippines is moving so fast to transition everything to online and apps, online banking, online cash, online digital wallet, online everything, right? So they're moving so fast that they missed a step. And I think I said in an earlier live stream that this could happen, that it'll happen so fast that you'll go straight from paper to electronics. And that is exactly what is happening, right? By the way, I didn't miss my mark on the Philippine peso. I said it would be 55 on Christmas Day, and it was 55.4. Of course, now it's going up again. The exchange rate against the dollar. It's becoming weaker, but it's still below 56. But I only missed it, but I missed it by less than a peso. That's pretty good. Point 0.4. 55.4 on Christmas Day is where it settled. And the day before, 55.35 on the 24th, Christmas Eve. Tell me how the stock market is going crazy in the West, but nobody is buying anything. How does that happen? I mean, if you listen, from the moment you're born in the States, you are systematic. The first breath of air you take when upon birth is you're in the system. You're in the system. I have no control over anything. I cannot control anything. They try and make you believe that you can. But let's take, for example, when I put my investment in this thing called a 457K, right? It's like a 401K for people that are government workers. I don't have any control where I can invest that stock, even my own defined retirement. It has to be in these funds. So they don't give me any control over my stupid investments. That's all industrialized. I just give them my money. Here, I open my wallet, I give it to them. Here, make me money. I hope it goes well. Here, make me money. I hope it goes well. Oh, good Lord. I go, people that think that you control it, there's something wrong with your head. You don't control anything. You just give them the money. It's better off. They're taking. I'm going to tell you something. I have that 457K. It's disintegrating right before my very eyes. Why? They're taking fees, and more fees. And I'm starting to realize that, hey, where are my gains? Where are my gains? I have no gains. I have no gains. It's a net loss because they keep hitting me up for fees, and more fees. Well, Nitban doesn't. Listen, he calls them Nitban calls it the way he sees it. You certainly can't. You can't be upset with Nitban because he just calls it the way he sees it, like me. You know. So anyway, yeah, you continue thinking that you have control over your investments. You have no control. Nitban, Good luck with that. Write it up. Write it up and write it all the way back down, because that's where we're headed. Because it's like going to Caesar's Palace. It's like grabbing the dice and the craps, right, table, and you just roll and roll and roll. That's what it's all about. You have no idea what the 2%ers are thinking. Oh, I forgot. Nitban is one of the 2%ers. I do apologize, Nitban. Please don't seize my bank account. Folks, beware, beware. But this is the reason why the transition was so easy for me, leaving the United States and then coming here. A nice place to visit. You wouldn't want to live there, except for this. I was going to talk about how there is something that would get me to move back, right? Or maybe not, but at least to reinvest in a house. Please ask your manager if I can buy these 20 bags of chips for 10 pesos. Exactly. You're going to want to get your discount. And that's what you always have to ask. And sometimes you're lucky and they say, yeah. And sometimes you're not. They say, get out of here. What are you? Ugly American? Get the hell out of my place. And you got to go. Just go. Be humble. Don't fight. Don't bitch slap somebody. Don't do any of that. There's no reason why to start arguing with somebody if they don't want to give you what you want, right? You just bow your head. Thank you so much for your consideration. Then you leave, right? Oh, by the way, we met a new American who's been a resident. He said he's lived here now for 2 months. We met him yesterday over there by Prince Mall by Mang Inasal. And I think he said he was from Maui. And then, of course, he had 2 little kids with him. And he was buying them a little snack. And I was like, I didn't want to go into a whole deep conversation with him about, doesn't he think it's a riot when people in San Francisco and LA take a vacation for 5 or 7 days to Maui, and they spend more money on the island of Maui than taking a whole trip around the world for it just cracks me up. You're so stupid. Now that's capitalism right there. Getting me to sell you a 4 or 5 day vacation in Maui. You could have white sandy beaches and crystal clear blue water. You can go snorkeling and see tropical fish. For the same money, of course, you can make a trip all the way to the Philippines. You could spend 1 month here, and get your return flight all for the same amount of money for which you can go to Maui. Good luck with that idea. All you people that have the timeshare in Maui, do you still have to pay that monthly maintenance fee even after it burned down in the big fire? That's all I want to say to you. Yeah, I know it sucks to be you, because you probably... Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I'm working on it. I'm working on becoming a ventriloquist, because this YouTube thing may not work out so well. Girly Senna's here. Girly, how are you today? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, yes, indeed. Dens Verga is here. Dens, did you not win some money in somebody's contest the other day? I thought I saw where you won big money in somebody's contest. I don't know. I'm losing my mind, obviously. But anyway, yeah. So, but when you compare the Philippines, so where was I going with this? Oh yeah, when you compare, listen. Obviously, I can't live in Thailand, because there's too much crap going on there, right? But I love the food. But you certainly could visit as often as you want. I could, not make it so that you're a resident, right, of Thailand, but you could visit, stay there 2 or 3 months, and then move to the next country. Thailand and Malaysia and Cambodia, Vietnam, those places are perfect. But that's how you can get a comparison of what's going on between the real Asian countries and the Philippines, because of the European or Western influence. I mean, when you come here, it's totally different. I'm not saying they're not building McDonald's in different places around the world. They have a McDonald's that I like to hang out with on hang out. Yeah, Ronald McDonald, you and I, bud. I miss you. But that's the Ronald McDonald's on Sukhumvit Road, the main one there. You know which one I'm talking about. Not the little one, Knit Band by Nana Plaza. I'm talking about which is never open for breakfast. I'm talking about the big one that has the Mick Cafe and all that in there. And then you can see your friends as they're walking by, and you try and grab them. You know, you scoop them up and say, "Hey, come on in here." Oh, that being said, so also, yeah, if you spend your money at Jollibee, then that makes sense to me because that is a Filipino owned company, and so what are you gonna do? That's where I draw the line, right? You gotta so if Ronald decides that he wants to relocate to the Philippines, then yeah, cool. That's a cool idea. Then I would be in there having a burger every day. Instead, I'm in Jollibee every day having a snack or breakfast or chicken joy or something like that. Here's Mike married. Hi y'all. I'm listening while I fill up a Balik Bayan box. Oh, hey, can you put some things in there for me? I want a yacht. Can you put a yacht in there for me? Anyway, oh my goodness gracious. What else is going on? I think we better just draw and get this get this over with, right? Oh, but then okay, but hey, even though our medical service and hospitals are like kind of we're like number 37 on this list of ranking, everybody that lives in the United States, if you live there, you know, you 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 get inundated with people saying every day on the media how great your health insurance and your healthcare system is in the United States. And then when you look at how they're ranked globally by country, then you'll see United States is way down there. I noticed he didn't. I noticed he didn't address that about the. He talked about the food, but he didn't address you know access to medical care and things like that, which is equally important for expats because you get old, you're going to have to pay a visit. I'm going to have to. And so I know I'm going to be in Thailand and Malaysia soon. So I probably will wait, or I'll just go to St. Luke's. I'll just go to St. Luke's and I'll wave as I'm passing by. No, I'll go into St. Luke's and I'll do the executive treatment, the executive checkup and pay the $300 or whatever it is they want. So I can get my blood work and all this other stuff handled. I'm feeling a little right here. I can't tell what it is. If it's here, it's here. It could be, it could be that. And I hope it's not. I hate to get locked down. Yeah, and by the way, all the comments I make here today, just go back to the intro and you'll see the disclaimer. Have not been approved by the Center of Disease Control in the United States. I just would like to point that out. Housing, they can't get you on, though. This is interesting about the Philippines. What would get me to go back there to the United States is if all of a sudden the price of housing dropped. And as everybody knows, I'm sitting on a ton of cash. I'm not bragging, it's just fact. And so I would convince me to let's get that money together and let's go to Detroit and let's buy a home, for 10 cents on the dollar. So if all of a sudden there's some kind of calamity that strikes the United States, not that kind of strike, Nipan. I'm talking about a housing meltdown, a housing meltdown bigger than what we saw in 2008, then I probably will scoop up as much cash as I can and go in there and buy a house for cash because I'm not going to do the mortgage thing for cash. Even if it was an old rundown haunted house, I probably will buy it. I was just joking about Detroit. Listen, I don't even think I don't even think you can get the water turned on or the electricity turned on in certain neighborhoods in Detroit. They've abandoned them. It's some kind of great experiment that's going on there. I mean, that the people abandoned the city of the Detroit. Parts of the neighborhoods. So I mean, there was no tax base to support the services, and so this is the kind of thing that's happening in other American cities to this degree, to try to convince everybody to move to the inner city, because if you have a heart attack and you're in the suburbs, we don't have the money to pay for services. We're not going to be sending an ambulance to get over to your house 20 miles out in the burbs. You're SOL, Nitban. You better be planning on selling that thing in retirement, moving out of there, because there's going to come a time where I do believe that if you're not in downtown Sacramento, they're not going to pay any attention to you. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, we'll get there when we can." We're kind of tied up helping Dan, who lives downtown here, right? The elevator takes you from your apartment down to the hospital, down to the medical clinic. They use on the other end of the, yes, that's right. Oh my goodness gracious. That's right. Exactly. But I heard different things about you, Mike. I must admit. Mike married Hi Dan out to Minnie and everybody. Hello, hello, hello. LV. All right, I'm behind in the chat as usual. Let me see. I think Ma'am Minnie is close by, so let's see if we can get her in there. I see her starting to store stuff. Yeah, if you looked around, if I were to just swivel this camera around, you could see that I'm surrounded. This is this 2x2, right? This is the only place that doesn't have junk stored in it, right here. And then, of course, you could argue that we even have junk stored right here. All right. So anyway, like I said, no one's gonna come tell me what to do. I could smoke, I could drink. That was the whole point of the thumbnail. Would I do all those things? Probably not. The whole idea, though, is that I can if I want to. So when you retire, you don't want people coming up to you telling you what you can and cannot do. I get real sensitive when somebody even makes a suggestion. Hey, Dad, maybe you should try cutting your toenails. What? What are you telling me to do? Do what? Cut my toenails? I'm not cutting my toenails for nobody. Not until at least they get this long. So here I am with slippers I got over here at the Prince Mall, right? I'm walking around. I got the toes hitting the concrete. They can hear me coming. They can hear me coming walking down the street before they even see me. It's a scratchy sort of annoying noise. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, do I have all my paperwork here? Yes. All right, it's time, man. Minnie, are you here? Yeah, so the bottom line is everything is going great. And if you go to that website, if you go there to what's his name? Vagabond Away. He's the one that walks around with that really skinny Malaysian girlfriend, I think. Or hey, listen, we ran into him. We think we did. Is Naomi in the chat? Naomi was with us. I said, is that Vagabond awake? Looks like him from behind, Dan. It looks like her from behind. You can't miss her. She was cracking me up. She's going down the escalator. I'm not chasing after them. You can if you want. I'm not starstruck. I thought Naomi was actually going to go look for her. Was that Vagabond awake? We saw that one time at Cebu at Galleria Mall. You remember the skinny little girl? You remember she was really skinny? All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ma'am. Minnie. All right, it's time to draw. Go ahead, give us a winner right out of the thing. First time out for 300 bit. Oh, this looks like a good one. Hang on, let me get my act together. This looks like a good one. Oh my goodness gracious. I'll bet you Jim from Sacramento is listening in the background in the BG. This is Jim, who's been sitting in the bottom of this tank for the longest time. Number 36, Grandpa Jim from Sacramento must be present to win. The one that
I remember now.
took us to breakfast when we were there on our visit. Yes. Number 36.
It says there.
Grandpa Jim. Jim tells me that sometimes he'll listen in the background. Must be present to win. First call out. Grandpa Jim must be present to win. Number 36. Second call out. Grandpa Jim must be present to win. Are you here? Second call out. Third call out for Grandpa Jim from Sacramento. Must be present to win. I don't know. You'll have to send me a PM. She Dakara. Grandpa Jim, third call out. Must be present to win. All right. Well, he's probably at breakfast right now. Grandpa Jim, fourth call out. Must be present to win. Grandpa Jim is probably over there at Bradshaw Road. Huh? That's running right here, though. That's why I'm using the phone. Grandpa Jim, fifth and final call out. Grandpa Jim must be present to win. Now, no luck. Okay, he's not here, but I'll buy him a cup of coffee when we're in Sacramento the next time.
See you again.
Hope to see you again. That was pretty funny. Hope to see you again. Hell, I can't see you now. All right. Next one. Moving on. Who do we got? Whoa. You know what? Look at that. The ink is wearing off of this one. 1-3. Beth Beltran. Beth. What? Beth. What? Beth Beltran. I don't know if she's here or not. I hope she is. I'd like to see her win 300 pesos. Beth Beltran, first call out. Must be present to win. Beth, someone, you better call your buddy and tell Beth that she's won. Beth Beltran, number 13. Mange, you better send her a message and tell her to get up here.
Hi, Mange.
Number Beth, second call out. Must be present to win. Beth Beltran. Second call out. Must be present to win. Beth Beltran. Third call out. Must be present to win. Beth Beltran. Fourth call out. Must be present to win. Where's Beth? She was here yesterday, wasn't she? Or the other day, wasn't she here? Beth Beltran. Fifth and final call out. There she is. Present. We got a winner chicken dinner. Beth, you are today's live stream winner. She has the best laugh in the business. Why don't you chuckle for us? Chuckle for us so they can hear your laugh. All right, everybody, that's it. I've had enough of myself for one day. We'll see you on the next one. And Larry, if you wouldn't mind.
Look at your nose. Very big in here.
Oh, honey. I have a nose like a bird. It smells really good, though. All right, so now I could sniff it out. I could sniff anything out. Larry Lee.
Hi, good morning, Sir Larry. How are you?
Where you be? Give us the way out with your words of wisdom. Okay, I'm looking at my phone. I'm waiting. There he is. Remember to be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun. No matter where you are, no matter where you go. I better not say the rest of that one. We'll see everybody later. We're out in 5, 4, 3, 2.